Big Polly's World of Sports Sims presents Grand Slam Wrestling, and in this next to last week of year number 3, Jim Londos defends the World Championship against Big Van Vader. Should be a tough defense for Mr. Londos. I'm Big Polly coming to you, San Francisco, California, virtually. That's where we are for this World Championship match. Jim Londos winning the world title 3 weeks ago over Farmer Burns, and appears to be headed for a match in Los Angeles against John Pezic for the World Championship. Kind of an all or nothing match for Pezic. It's his retirement match. He wants to win the World Championship once more before he retires. And we'll go over the circumstances over that as the match as we go through the matches that took place in the Western Circuit in San Francisco. In the opener, the Road Warriors over the Hells Angels by DQ in a little over 18 minutes. The Road Warriors looking like they will face Black Japan for the World Tag Team titles. It was Nick Bockwinkel over Giant Baba. Scott Hall pulled off an upset over Dick the Bruiser. A double DQ between Dos Caras and Mil Mascaras and the Kalmakoffs. Tiger Mask was a bit of an underdog against Toshiaki Kawada, though he was higher rated. He was 27th and Kawada was 30th. Mask wins by pin in 1906. Antonio Inoki got a big win over Koji Kamemoto. If Londos retains the title, Inoki will be the number one contender and will enter the four-way regional championship consolidation tournament, and the winner of that could wind up being the world champion. The tag teams will be doing the same thing, except the winner there will get a world tag team title shot in the first part of the first week of year 4. For the Western Tag Team titles, it was Bobby Shane and Buddy Colt pulling off the upset, beating Wahoo and Casey. Well, it wasn't really an upset. Wahoo and Casey were the champs. Shane and Colt were the champs before Wahoo and Casey beat them, so Shane and Colt avenged their defeat, and they are once again the Western Tag Team titles, and they will head into the consolidation tournament next week. We have 3 other teams. One of those teams was supposed to be Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat, but they were injured in a match with the Midnight Express, so America's team, the former World Tag Team Championship team of Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA, will be representing the South instead. Pat O'Connor and Bert Azarati went to a double DQ, but that's good enough for O'Connor to advance into the tournament of consolidation. O'Connor will either get Inoki or he will get Jim Londos. If Londos loses the world title tonight, he will still be high enough in the rankings to be the number one contender and enter the consolidation tournament that way. We are just about set for our match. Londos, as I was saying, is the world champion. Big Van Vader was the Western champion for several weeks, losing his title to Pat O'Connor, and is now trying to get the World Championship, and he could wind up being the man and wind up being the person who faces John Pezic in a no DQ, no time limit bout in which Pezic could win, retire, and the winner of the consolidation tournament might wind up being an interim world champion, but if, say, Londos loses to Pezic in that back, Londos would get the first crack at becoming world champion again. So we will get the match started. I know it's confusing and there will be a test on it later. Londos a considerable favorite, a 202 rating against Vader's 134. And both men with exceptional one-loss records as of late. Vader 7-3-3 in his last 13 matches. Londos 5-4-3, but of course he pulled off the mammoth upset over Farmer Burns, and that might wind up being the match of the year for year number 3. We'll have the award show during Night of Champions, and I'll mention who won what award. We have Wrestler of the Year, we have Tag Team of the Year, Junior Heavyweight of the Year, Rookie or Rookies of the Year, and we have Match of the Year, and we'll announce those winners on that final card of year number 3. So here we go, Londos trying to walk out of San Francisco with the championship. An eye gouge by Londos is just telling Vader who's boss right away. Airplane spin, but you're not going to get Vader up in an airplane spin. Londos giving up at least a couple 100 pounds, if not more. A legal power move by Vic Van Vader. Early on, Vader's leading into damage. He's a -4 and Londos is -7. The closer to 0 you are, the better off you are. A face rake by Vader. Especially move a pound in the corner, but Londos knew that was coming. Leg hold by Londos. Londos, kind of like Farmer Burns, he just does the basic things and he does them well. A couple of legal leg holds. Londos smashes Vader with a chair shot across his leg. Good for you, Jim Londos. And now Vader down to -33, and he's about to lose his stamina ladder. He's at 8. He's at 16 and 5 over here in this left box. Illegal punches by Londos, so he's fighting fire with fire here. Londos body slam countered by Vader. You're not going to pick the big man up. Headlock by Vader. Illegal punches by Vader. Illegal elbow by Vader. Vader throws Londos face first into the ring post. Ouch. And lucky Londos was not cut. And now Vader has surpassed Londos, or Londos has gone underneath Vader. Vader is now leading in damage. Illegal choking. Illegal power move by Vader. So Vader on a roll here. And we had something happen here. Vader delivers a specialty move that leaves Jim Londos decimated outside the ring. Vader slowly climbs back to the ring. Londos is counted out, but you don't lose the championship that way. Normally, this would trigger an automatic rematch, but because we are so close to the end of the year, it will not. Vader will get 2 rankings points, which will not be enough to surpass Inoki for the #1 contender spot. So Vader needed a pin, and this is Londos' first loss as champion. So maybe when we get into year 4, Vader will look Londos up and say, hey, give me a rematch. But Londos might not be world champion by then. So the time of the match was 5:42. Vader wins, but he does not win the world championship. And Vader was ahead on damage, and it's got a 3-star rating. So, as I say, Vader won the match, not the championship. Maybe these two will have a rematch somewhere down the road at year 4, because normally that's what would happen in the game, but because Londos already has challengers lined up, Vader's going to have to at least wait in line. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's match. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon, and bye-bye for now, everybody.